Paris in turn did not linger long in his high house, but when he had put on his glorious armor of bronze elaborate, he ran in the confidence of his quick feet through the city, as when some stalled horse who has been corn-fed at the manger, breaking free of his rope, gallops over the plain in thunder, to his accustomed bathing place in a sweet running river, and in the pride of his strength holds high his head, and the mane floats over his shoulders, sure of his glorious strength, the quick knees carry him to the beloved places and the pasture of horses. So from uttermost Pergamus came Paris, the son of Priam, shining in all his armor of war as the sun shines, laughing aloud, and his quick feet carries him. Suddenly hereafter he came on brilliant Hector, his brother, where he yet lingered, before turning away from the place where he had talked with his lady.
Oh, Helen, it's ridiculous. How can these peasants, my father and Hector, doubt me? I shall grind this Menelaus under my feet. Oh, please. Please, servants. That is right.
What do you suppose you did after your first encounter with Simile?
That first encounter, that peasant, that plebeian, he was lucky. He shall rue the day he ever angered the great almighty Paris. That is enough! Next hand. Ah, this peasant.
Alexandrus, the godlike, when he saw Menelaus soaring among the champions, the heart was shaken within him. To avoid death, he shrank into the host of his own companions. As a man who has come on a snake in the mountain valley, suddenly steps back, and the shivers come over his body, and he draws back and away, cheeks seized with a green pallor. So in terror of Atreus' son, godlike Alexandrus lost himself again in the host of haughty Trojans.
That's right. Come on, that's right. Menelaus, too strong.
She spoke thus, great-eyed Athene, and went while Titus' son closed once again with the champions, taking his place there, raging as he had been before to fight with the Trojans. Now the strong rage tripled took hold of him, as of a lion whom the shepherd among his fleecy flocks in the wild lands grazed as he leapt the fence of the fold, but has not killed him, but only stirred up the lion's strength, and can no more fight him off, but hides in the steading, and the frightened sheep are forsaken, and these are piled pell-mell on each other in heaps, while the lion raging still leaps out again over the fence of the deep yard. Such was the rage of strong Diomedes as he closed with the Trojans.
Just do it!
Oh, God.
Now the two Iantes and Odysseus and Diomedes stirred the Danaans to fight these, since themselves they did not fear the force of the men of Troy nor their charges onward, but stay where they were, like clouds, which the son of Cronos stops in the windless weather on the heights of the towering mountains, motionless, when the strength of the north wind sleeps, and the other tearing winds, those winds that, when they blow unto tempest high screaming, descend upon the darkening clouds and scatter them.
As from his watching place of Goldert watches a cloud moved on its way over the sea, before the dive of the west wind. Far away, though he watches, darker than pitch is, moving across the sea, piling the storm before it. And as he sees it, he shivers and dives his flock to the cavern. So about 2 aunties moved the battalion, close compacted of strong and God-supported young fighters, black and jagged, with spears and the shield to the terror of battle.
He spoke and sprang to the ground in all his arms from the chariot. And on the other side, Patroclus, when he saw him, leapt down from his chariot. They, as 2 hook-clawed, beak-bent vultures, above a tall rock face, high screaming, go for each other. So now, these two, crying aloud, encountered together.
You peasants! Let a son of Zeus show you how to fight the true war.
And the shivers took hold of Hector when he saw him, and he could no longer stand his ground there, but left the gates behind and fled, frightened, and Peleus' son went after him in the confidence of his quick feet. As when a hawk in the mountains, who moves lightest of things, flying makes his effortless swoop for a trembling dove, but she slips away from beneath and flies, and he shrill screaming close after her, plunges for her again and again, heart furious to take her. So Achilles went straight for him in fury, but Hector fled away under the Trojan wall and moved his knees rapidly.
Aged Priam was the first of all whose eyes saw him, as he swept across the flat land in full shining, like that star which comes in on the autumn and whose conspicuous brightness far outshines the stars that are numbered in the night's darkening. The star they gave the name of Orion's dog, which is the brightest among the stars, and yet is wrought as a sign of evil.
Is that it?
Dude!
Oh, I recorded. Okay, wait.
Okay, there it goes. Okay.